everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. You will notice I'm in different glasses. That's because over the weekend, mine decided to be something that cannot be used anymore. No, they're not the magnetic kind that attach. They broke, and it's time for another eye exam, I guess. It was my glasses telling me time to get off my rump and go get that done. Hi, TERRI HARDIN, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer here, and welcome. If you're just joining us, this is not usually where I broadcast from. If you've joined us before, this is not usually where I broadcast from. This is my office inside my home, and the reason we're here today is because they're working, having some work done in my studio, and it's really a lot of noise and sounds, and it's not really conducive for doing a broadcast. You may hear a ding from my phone occasionally. Apologies for that. That's because my cousin is bringing groceries to us. He insists. Ever since the pandemic, he's been our grocery delivery guy. And because I'm really, really busy, and because he loves to visit with me when he comes and drops groceries off, we have agreed to keep doing it that way. So if he calls with questions while he's at the market, I have to pick up and tell him, yeah, that's right, strawberries, something like that. So welcome. This is a channel that's very different from most. Like I said, I am in my office, and the lighting that is in front is the sun. I am actually facing north, so it's reflecting off of the house and onto me. I've turned the lights out so I'm not completely washed out. So hopefully you'll bear with me on a Monday. It's a Monday. And it's great to see you. I've been gone a week. I was on vacation with my husband to celebrate his birthday. We went to Carlsbad, and we had a great time. It was really cold, and I loved it. Yeah, I did. I loved it a lot. My husband, not so much. He doesn't like the cold, but boy, I sure love the cold. I told him it'll get warm here in California soon enough, so just wait. But it is a Monday. I am a little bit off, so if my talking starts to act a little weird, I have been without sleep for 2 days, and I can't even tell you why. We think it might be that our sleep number bed is off, so I think we fixed it before I broadcast today. We'll see. But I was in pain for some reason. Couldn't get comfortable. And it's unusual because my sleep number bed, that's what I love about it, is I can get perfectly comfortable and not want to move. But that was a challenge for me. And then Sunday was oh my gosh, what's going on with me? Doesn't seem anything can go right. You know, if it's going to go wrong, it goes wrong Sunday. That I thought that would be like a Monday, but it turns out it's a Sunday for me. So a lot of things bounced and kind of messed with me a little bit. So there was that. But let's talk the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Oh my goodness. Now, usually I talk about a lot of things Disney because I'm a Disney Imagineer. I am a Muppeteer with the Jim Henson Company. I've done films and TV like Ghostbusters, Men in Black, blah, 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 which makes me a screen actor. Ah! And I may have mentioned to you that I get screeners, and then we watch the screeners, and we watch the digital streams that they give us, and then we vote. Well, we had to vote by last Friday. So that shows you a very quick vote count that they did for the Screen Actors Guild. But I thought the show was pretty good. I thought it was really, really lovely. One of the things that I've always liked about the Screen Actors Guild, and the newspapers are pointing this out this time, but I'm going to say always, the nice thing about the SAG Awards, as they're called, Screen Actors Guild Awards, SAG Awards, the thing that's cool about the SAG Awards is that it's always diverse. They really look on your merit as an actor, a stunt person, a director, an ensemble. They look at your work because we're all in the business together. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at roles that we might have done. And when we're impressed by somebody, we vote for you. And we really, we think the Academy of Motion Pictures kind of watches what we choose as screen actors, but that's not always true. Okay, I can think of a couple of incidences where the Academy Awards went in a different direction than we did. So I like I like it when the award shows do it based on their award criteria, if you will. And so with the Screen Actors Guild, it's about acting for the most part. I will tell you that I got most of the choices right this year. I nailed it. So I was real happy about that. But it honestly, I felt like it wasn't too difficult. There were some incredible performances like Coda, okay, which I thought I hadn't heard anything about. I love when I go see a movie or I see a movie that I have no idea what it is, and it was just fantastic. I thought it was so beautiful and so exciting that I really liked it. I really, really liked the idea um, of having. I know we had it with what is it? The sound of last year we did. What's it called? The sound of the drummer who went deaf, and there was a deaf interpreter slash deaf person that was interpreting because he had trouble hearing, and so he wanted to get an implant and become a hearing person again. And the school that he goes to said, it's about dealing with what you have, be happy with what you have. So I really liked that because this one was not about trying to change their situation. Like, I don't want to be deaf anymore. They were working with deaf versus hearing people. What if you're deaf and you have a hearing child? What if you're a little person and you have a full-size child? I have two very dear friends who she was pregnant. We were working on dinosaurs. She was working on that Lonnie Anderson, Burt Reynolds show way back, and we were doing dinosaurs in the stage next door. And she was a stunt. She was a stand-in for the children, and she was pregnant. And the doctor told, and she's just the loveliest thing. She was in Captain EO, but she's a sweetheart. Cindy and her husband Joe, and they're little people. So Cindy informs us that the doctor has just told her she's going to have a full-size child, that the child is not going to be a little person. And her concern was carrying it because she's a little lady. And Joe is a comedian of sorts, so he's really funny. And Joe said, I've got to teach him to behave, me as his dad, before he gets too big that he can grab me by my ankles and shake me and say, "Give me the car keys, Dad." So, but they're really lovely people. And when she had the baby was 23 inches long. And she's like 4 feet. So you do the math. It's like half her size. And she was like, it was really something. But my point is, these situations create questions in the family and in the people surrounding these families. And I thought Coda just did a great job of letting us see into that world as I work to share with you what it's like to be a mixed child, half black, half white. Because you see these movies as a mixed kid that are absolutely stupid. Sorry, Spike Lee, but they're dumb. Because every time they have people of different races want to get married, they fall in love, they always say, "What about the children?" "Oh, the children are going to be half-breeds." I mean, we right down to Cher, who has a song about it, half-breed, and you're just like, this is not the complete scenario, guys. This is not, sure, you're going to have some people that are haters and they're going to tease you for not being on either side. It happens. But the reality of it is there's so many other facets and so many benefits of being someone who's mixed. And one of is seeing the world from both sides. Yeah, I see the world from both sides now. And it helps you tolerate more because you can see it from both sides. So I'm very fortunate. I'm very, very blessed to have had two pioneers, my parents, my white mom and my black dad, getting married in 1956. And I appreciate it. I don't walk around with a chip on my shoulder saying, poor me, how dare my parents come together and now I'm not white and I'm not black, I'm both, And what you may be saying now is, because this is getting a little bit heavy, and I'll lighten it up in a minute and talk about Sid and Marty Krofft. So stay there. We're just going to finish this thought. But the thing is I don't sit around and lament being both sides. I was very grateful. My father and mother taught me about the attitudes of both. Now you may say now it's different. Of course, because I'm growing up, but I'm 65. I'm almost 65 years old. And so I was growing up during the time of white water fountains and black water fountains. A white person couldn't drink in a white one and a black one couldn't drink in a black one, and they never had a middle one. During my college years, are you black or are you white with no other box really annoyed me. I mean, of the things that annoy you, right? Annoys me when there's no other box. And now what's annoying me is some surveys will say, Hispanic or non-Hispanic, fine. White, okay. Black, okay. Or prefer not to answer. There is no other. Okay. I don't want to say I don't prefer not to answer. I'm very proud of what I am and who I am, right? But prefer not to answer is in place of other. It's like, ugh, every time I take a COVID test, I have to prefer not to answer because there is no other box when I go to get a COVID test to see my mother. So it just makes me mad, that no other box is just, yeah, that little bone that picks at you. That's it. No other box. You surveyors out there, put another box down because I am other. I am black and white. When you have an electronic scoring system, if you check both black and white, they tell you have to pick one. And I'm sitting there saying, you tell me which parent I ignore. Not happening. So in that case, I guess I do prefer not to answer, but really, so yeah. So the SAG Awards were great. Ted Lasso really did some great stuff. The cast won. Yay! And Best Actor and Best Actress, I did not nail those because I really loved the actor from Tick, Tick, Boom. I thought he just did amazing. And he played the husband in the Tammy Faye. The actress won for Best Actress. But he played the husband, and then he was the playwright in Tick, Tick, Boom. And then he was in another one that, he was in 3 movies this year, and each one was uniquely different. So he's got a real versatility to him, and I just really thought he should have won. So maybe next year, but Squid Games took it, and I'm very grateful because that's, I know a lot of people have said it's very violent, and they're right, but the violence is there for a reason. This particular movie has a lot of questions. If you watch it a couple of times, if violence is just unsavory to you, then it's going to be kind of tough. Maybe you watch it when you can fast forward through the parts that are really awful for you. But when the actors are together and they're all, it's a study. It's kind of it's kind of like why, okay? It's asking you why these characters are there and so on. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it really is quite brilliant. So, let me listen because the doorbell just rang, which means it's probably the alarm guy who locked himself out. Let me just check real quick and make sure my husband is going to grab. That's why I'm indoors, just in case, right? Okay. Honey, did you hear the doorbell? Okay. That's all right. We'll be right there. Okay, my megaphone mouth had to let the guy know that my husband was coming to the door. And he's taking care of it, which is one of the reasons we're here, is because my alarm system in my studio is malfunctioning. So ADT is here to fix it, which is why we're here. so he won't be making all kinds of racket while I'm trying to talk to you. So thank you for that brief pause. I really appreciate it. And yeah, so yes, I thought overall the awards were just great. It was really cool to see such diversity in the SAG Awards, which we do all the time. Honestly, guys, the SAG Awards have a lot of diversity. They're pretty diverse, and they're getting more and more diverse each year naturally. Not like, oh gosh, who do we not have on the list? Let's make sure, we don't do that. So I really appreciate that, and found the show to be really touching. There were a lot of really wonderful speeches and deep thank yous. And one thing about King Richard is that Serena Williams was there, and she got to hear that beautiful speech, and it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. I really like that show. I'm not always interested in the award shows, but I really thought this one was cool. So there's that. You can find a list online if you want to see who all, and I think and I missed part of it, but Helen Mirren was honored. Yeah, right? Yeah. And that was pretty exciting. So the Academy Awards now are next. And we'll see how they go, but there was some great stuff. Yeah. It was good. I like that they give to stunt performers because, if I be ever, I'm an actor too. And if I became like a super famous one, like let's say I became Tom Cruise level, which is not going to happen because that's not really the direction I'm going. But if I did, I would always have a stunt man do my stunts. I wouldn't do my own stunts because I really like to leave things to the professionals. So I do a thing called the Foster Farms Chickens here on the West Coast. And we have a stunt driver. She's about 4 feet tall. I'm all about 4 feet today. Have you noticed that? She's 4 feet tall, and she lays on the floor of the chicken car when we do the Foster Farms chicken commercials. She drives by laying on the floor, looking up out the window, and keeping the car straight by looking at the phone poles. They're on the side of the road. Yeah, so imagine you're driving. Yeah, and then we're usually in it. The first time we did that, it was a little scary when Drew and I were the chickens. It was a little scary, but she's very good. She's a precision driver, and she does some magical stuff, some seriously magical stuff with her driving. But the reason that she's so good is she fits in the front floorboard of the chicken car between my chicken and Drew's chicken, the driver chicken, so we can still be performing with our chickens. And then she's driving, but she's actually driving the car from underneath. So chicken hands are here, but she's underneath the steering wheel, steering and making the car go straight based on, and we're going 60 miles an hour. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. She's very, very good. She's amazing. So basically, I would leave it to the professionals. I love that we do a Stuntmen's Award because stuntmen are incredible. And like puppeteers, a little nuts. So pretty cool. And speaking of puppeteers, you saw the Sid and Marty Krofft Puppet School. So my friend Jerry Cornell, who does some amazing videos, he does some amazing videos. He reached out to me and said there's a Sid and Marty Krofft convention happening in Middle California, celebrating the lives of Sid and Marty Krofft. So you got your HR pub stuff, your Lidsville, et cetera, so on and so forth. Well, I worked with, that was my first job, was with Sid and Marty Krofft. I knew both Sid and Marty very, very well. They were good friends. In fact, I was telling Jerry, I have this garish satin red jacket with Krofft on the back, Krofft Puppet Team, or Sid and Marty Krofft Productions, or whatever on the back of it. And you may have seen the little thumbnail. It was a puppet school. So the puppet school, I went and auditioned for the puppet school. I was about 18 years old. And I auditioned. It was an all-day audition. And I auditioned, and then they picked 30 people. And of those 30 people, there were 3 women, and I was one. So we learned, it was a really elegant, amazing school. We learned voiceovers with June Foray. The June Foray taught us how to do voices. You'll see that I'm often doing that a lot. So that's where I got it. I trained with her, and then I trained with Harvey Limbeck, who was an amazing drama coach and comedy coach. He was really, really well known back in the day in the, what was that, 70s and 80s. Dating myself. But anyway, and I did some shows, and I told Jerry, he said, "What did you do with Sid and Marty Krofft?" And I was like, boy, that was a long time ago. I'm 65 years old. I don't know. I don't remember. But I knew I had done the Fudge Family, which was this crazy group of characters for Oral Roberts' Celebration. Yes, the television evangelist and his family. We did characters. That was Sid and Marty Krofft. And then we also did Barbara Mandrell. And Barbara Mandrell, a singer, and she had a band. And I was not a regular on the band. I was sometimes puppet characters, sometimes assistant, meaning hands and stuff. I did that. And then DC Follies. So, and I helped sculpt the DC Follies, but I didn't do the faces. And then I was wondering, because we did it at Sid and Marty Krofft Studios, but it wasn't a Sid and Marty Krofft thing, and that was Wickedest Witch with Rue McClanahan, you know. And that was with Paul Fusco, who also kind of cut his teeth with the Kroffts at some point in his life, and did Alf, of course. So a lot of that threaded and parted and threaded. I trained, I cut my teeth. I actually went to the next level of puppet training with the Kroffts, training and ensemble training. And then I got cast in several shows that they did. And then I did this crazy Fudge Family characters for Robert Celebration. I did that too. So I'm hoping I can be a guest at the Sid and Marty Krofft event, because it would be fun. I really, really loved Sid and Marty. Sid was always really super tanned. He always reminded me of, I'm pretty sure it was Sid. Sometimes I can get them mixed up. It's been a long time, guys. But I think it was Sid, who was always deep tan. So he kind of looked like George Hamilton. You remember the actor George Hamilton? He was always really dark, like super tanned, kind of sexy. Well, that was that was Sid. And Marty was always kind of the person who is, who is putting the stuff together and stuff. But they were both really great guys, and it was a lot of fun. And they were revolutionary at their time. They were always coming up with cool, creative things, and always creating. A lot like Jim Henson, he was always creating, and like many of us who are creators, we were always creating. So that was a flash into my brain, and I thought I'd share that because Screen Actors Guild. That set my foot upon the path. I actually trained with the great Tony Urbano, who did Les Poupées Paris, which is marionettes. And Tony Urbano and I went on to do things like the McDonald's Chicken McNuggets when they were puppets. I built them and then performed them with the likes of Tim Blaney and Carl and Tony. And Tony did the Snuggles Bear for a while. And then I met Renee and his artist, and I think Renee might have done Pillsbury Doughboy for a while. And yeah, so way back, if you can go Google some of these older commercials, of which I'm a big part of, and do it, or you can go here at my website, subscribe if this is entertaining, please. We're trying to get past 100 subscribers. No, I'm kidding. I got a couple hundred now, so it's pretty good. And you're all choice. We finally passed 2. But anyway, what was I going to say? You can go to my playlists and look at early puppet performances. You'll get to see the puppet performance that I landed in order to do SAG, in order to be a part of the Screen Actors Guild back in 1979 when I joined. When you get older, the wheels just take a little more time, I really am embracing just about to be 65. I'm kind of excited about it. And that happens in June. Okay, so it's a ways off, but I'm already like, what's in store for me, I'm excited about it. But yeah. So there's that. So there you have it. That's kind of what's brewing. I thought the SAG Awards were really, really great. I cheered, I cheered for Ted Lasso. I saw Hacks. I thought that was okay. I'm not really, that was a little sitcom-y for me. And so that's what I love about Ted Lasso is it's really deep, it's really strong, it's really heartfelt, and it doesn't come off smarmy. And sometimes those sitcoms that you watch can come off a bit smarmy. They can be waiting for the laughs, or it just doesn't feel genuine to me, and that's me. So I'm not good with sitcoms. I kind of like the 1 hour dramas better. I love on Netflix the short, what do they call it, limited series. I really love those, and documentaries. Those are fun. So yeah, but I have fallen in love with Yellowstone. Actually, I was so impressed with Yellowstone, but I got to tell you, it makes me think twice about moving to Montana and living there. Montana is a place where it's very, very cold and it's very, very desolate. And if you watch Yellowstone, in some cases, you begin to wonder, is there still Texas? Is there still cowboy law out there? Cowboy law. Scary. Anyway, and there are big animals like bears that can attack you if you're wandering around at night. It's beautiful country. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. A little too cold for my husband, but Montana was one of the woo. When I watched Yellowstone, there's some chilling sequences, and I know it's television and stuff, but the thing that makes a series really good is that foot in reality. So there's some feet in reality there. And I think it's incredible. And I love the woman, forgive me, who plays Kevin Costner's daughter, the real tough chick. Oh, she's so good. Now that's my kind of gal, she's kind of villain. She's soft, but she's hard, and she's like a tigress, and she's so cool to watch. You never know what she's going to do, and you're like, ooh, she's a scary lady. She's a scary lady. And I only saw season 4 because the Screen Actors Guild, we voted on season 4. So I had not seen 1, 2, or 3. Now I've got them recorded, and I haven't yet watched them. But so I had to kind of figure out in season 4, to the best of my ability, what these people were up to and why and how and who was whom and everything. And it was impressive. It was very, very impressive. It blew me away, actually. It was really good. And Kevin Costner, many of you told me Kevin Costner was really bringing it, and he does. Yeah, I really, really love some of the acting choices he's made. There are times when he doesn't open his mouth. He's just sort of standing there thinking or pensive, and you just go, wow, it's just amazing. Yeah, it looks really cool. He's good. He's real good. Looks good in a cowboy hat too. And they all get to ride, which makes me excited because everybody's riding horses. And then the American Indian culture is beautiful. Just, there's a lot of cool stuff like Indian rituals and Indian dances, and that culture is just so stunning, and I miss seeing a lot of that. And so in this one, Yellowstone seems to, I'm only a quarter American Indian, so and the only tribe I could get, the only tribe that I know I'm part of is the Sioux, and American Indians will tell you it's like saying you're Cherokee, life is big, so I don't know what tribe actually, because it was my grandmother, and my grandmother passed before I was aware, when I was very, very young. When my dad was young, actually. I think my dad said he was 13 or so when she died. So the generation of my parents are not necessarily chatty about their history. Some are, some aren't. but most are kind of like, mom, they don't want to, it's private kind of thing. Have you noticed that? So if I want to write a book deep into my background, into my ancestry, or whatever you want to do, I have to wait till my parents pass, because they really don't want to see it in a book, and they don't really want to read about it. They're very close to the chest, very private about it. So I don't know a lot about the American Indian side, but as a child, I've always loved it. I've always loved to participate in the Indian dances, and I always wanted to be an eagle dancer. I wanted to wear the feathers, and those are usually male, but it still was just beautiful to hear the sounds and the music and everything of the culture. So I feel the pull. I might do that. So Yellowstone, they're there, and they're very active in Montana, because there are Indian reservations in Montana. And I think you would all have to tell me, but I think they handle it quite well. So Yellowstone was a wow find for me. When every so often when you're looking at screeners, you'll pull something out and you go, and you'll watch it and you go, whoa, glad I watched that. I'm glad I watched that, because that was really good. Same with Coda. I don't know if I would have watched Coda if I wasn't told to watch it for awards, because it didn't really closer to the Screen Actors Guild Awards, and we started to hear about it, but it hasn't been a big talk about it, and I wish it was, because it's really good. Now that it's won awards or two, I hope you guys will go see it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful movie. And Tick Tick Boom is cool too. So yeah. So let me now pop over here and hear what you have to say, and then we can talk a little bit. If you want to know about my vacation, you can look around behind me. I have some puppets from my mentor. They're from Indonesia. Books and my gray hair, which I'm very proud of. A signed poster from Eli Wallach, Tuco. And then Clint Eastwood signed this, but I didn't get to meet him. So I'm still hoping to meet Clint Eastwood. If you can make that work, let me know. And then if I turn my computer this way, you will see that right here I am building my Titanic. So it comes in 3 parts in 2 sections each. So that's 2 parts, and then that's 2 parts. So that's the front, and that's the middle, and this is the back. And I've yet to build the butt, which is going to go right there. And those 2 pieces will go together. Let me do that again. Those 2 pieces will go together. It's my Lego Titanic, 9,090 pieces. I'm really enjoying it. Above that is the poster. There you go. I'm trying to do it reflectively so you can see it. Is the poster I did for the 1996 Tournament of Roses float, and the trophy is in our den. So this is the sketch that I presented to the Burbank Tournament of Roses, and then we built it, and it won an award. So kind of gives you an idea. You don't usually get to see the interior of this office, because it was a catch-all for years, and now I've tidied it up a tad. Indeed. I've tidied it up. Yeah. So anyway, so there that goes. So let's see what you all have to say. Quite a day. As you know, before, or if you've joined me before, you know that this follows my discussion, my live discussion. I always do my discussions every Monday and Friday, except for when I went on vacation last week. And at 8:35, I discuss it with my tribe or my patrons on Patreon, which is, and I do need new glasses, don't I? Yeah. Anyway, if you want to be a member of Patreon, think about it, okay? Because your voice needs to be heard. I do a Monday broadcast before this one, and I do a Friday broadcast before this one. And then on Wednesday, we have a Zoom call. So we're back starting today. And then we're going to have our Zoom call on Wednesday. And then back to the broadcast on Friday. But we have all wonderful, wonderful people in the tribe. $5 a month, $60 a year. Come be a part of it. It's a great group of people who make me feel better every time I talk with them, and I'm so grateful. When I started, you may have heard of Patreon, where artists and creators create a membership site and they give you perks. What they don't tend to talk to you enough about is the perks that you give me. And that's one of the reasons that one of the levels is at the $5 mark, and I give so much because I'm benefiting. The $5 is an important benefit to help me show up. Okay, I've learned that when you do too many things for free, sometimes people don't put skin in a game, don't take it seriously. And I am a very busy lady. So the patrons get extra special attention from me for $5 a month, $60 a year. And I think that's a doggone good deal. So I hope you'll join me if you'd like to check it out. It really is very cool. And there's other tiers too. I'm getting ready to do the behind the scenes tier. I'm going to fill it with all kinds of stuff. You can look in on what I've been doing throughout my life as we fill it. We've got 20 videos that we're going to put in, at least 1 or 2 per month. So that's going to start tomorrow. I keep saying it's going to start in February, but February was too hard of a month on me. And it was just a lot of work and a lot of stuff. And I was getting my ghosts out and all kinds of stuff like that. So I had a lot of stuff. And then thank goodness, a much needed vacation. So today I need to rest because I've had sleep for 2 days. And then I will do, as I spoke before about, let me just double check and make sure it's not my, okay, cool. I'm wanting to make sure my cousin isn't asking about groceries. So yeah, that's another story. But anyway, here's where you go. Okay. All right. Cool. And then we'll talk more on Friday, you and I. No pressure, but it really is that Patreon is a great group, and I'm so grateful to every single one of the tribe who's there involved on it. So here you go. Here we go. Bob Burdine, we missed you so much. Happy you're back. Yes. Thank you, Bob. Bob Burdine is on his way to Disneyland today to celebrate his daughter's birthday. Whoop, whoop. Isn't that fun? Yes. Nice office. The acoustics work better here than in your studio. Yes, they do. And if I had my whole camera set up in here, that might be a nice thing to do. But then you couldn't see what I worked on because this is my clean studio. Okay. This is where I print out the photos that I need. And I just got a brand new printer. I got the Epson EcoTank 8500. There's an 8550 that does bigger and costs a little more. And the key to that is, guys, it may be out right now. Just go to your favorite store, not physically, but get online with your favorite store. This is what I did. Decide which printer you want. If, in the case of this, it was the EcoTank system. I realized that with a lot of the photo printers, having ink that costs $50 a pop every time you change it and having 8 colors or whatever, I just said, I'm not a photographer. I just need something that will give me a good picture. And 8x10 is about what I print. So here is our sunset from see how nice the sunset is? Yes. That's the sunset from our room in Carlsbad we just got back from. And look, the picture is really good. I mean, there's a little reflection there because of my window. But you can see that the picture is really, really nice, right? So really detailed, lots of transitional colors and stuff. So it's a perfect printer for someone like me. I'm looking to reproduce my sculptures or something. Quickly do a photo. Like I may have to print out one photo like this to sign, because you guys will send me a donation and say, can you sign a photo and send it to me? This has a nice little area. And then there's the Chavant. I'm working on one of my own pieces there. So that's kind of cool. My glasses that broke. Yeah. And So the main thing is the picture quality is beautiful. It can also do banners, and it has this really cool thing that I totally love, where you can get a roll of paper. It doesn't. The roll of paper hooks on the back, right, of the printer, but this one, you have to cut it to size, and it will do. It will do a sheet. So let me just use this again. So this is 8 by 10, but if you, ooh, it's upside down. If you wanted it to be like a panoramic view, really long, right? Like this or something, it will go 39 inches this way by this width. So if you wanted to do a panoramic, I don't know why. I mean, as a photographer, you know why. Of course you do. But for me as an artist, I'm not sure that's something I would use, but might. You never know. It would work great if my book was like this wide and I wanted to create a book cover. That could work. So I'm curious to see how I would use it and in what capacity I would use it. But for now, I had to ask myself, and you as an artist have to ask yourself, what do you need your printer to do? And this is an all-in-one printer, but I'm not going to use it as an all-in-one. I'm going to use it to print my sales sheets with pictures, and it shows you how you can really make them pretty with pretty backgrounds and stuff, like look professional, not just use Word. And then you can print cardboard. You can print on cardboard. You can print on canvas. So it's a very, very wonderful, versatile printer. And again, all I wanted was an 8 by 10. Okay. Because occasionally someone says, I need something, you doing something, and I can run out, take a picture, print one off, sign it, and get it in the mail to you for a donation. And so I had to choose. Now, this 8500 is about $600. But it's got these bottles that fill the tanks, and they really work well. They are really impressive if you follow the directions. Okay, you don't squeeze them, you don't squeeze them, you don't shake them, you just gently undo the cap, tip them, and lock them into position. They are all locked, coded locked, so you can't mess up the inks. You can't pour the yellow in the cyan and the black and the blue. And it has 6 colors. So it has gray, it has 2 photo blacks, and then it has the magenta, the cyan, and the yellow, right? So yeah, really, 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 really cool. And the Epson tells you that it gives you so much ink, you can do something like 3,000 photos or something. So it's going to save you real money as opposed to buying the cartridges. So we'll see. And it's eco-friendly. So you're not throwing the plastics into landfill. Win-win. So I like it. I think it's really great. We set it up and did some tests with it, and we'll see how it goes. What I'm going to be using it for is, as I've said, some photos that I may want to put in my, if I'm sculpting something. I'm doing a one-of-a-kind right now, as a matter of fact. And then I'm doing the Really Crumb chess set. So if I want a photo of it there, quickly to use as a reference or to sign or send, or I can't imagine at the time with the chess set, but I do know that every once in a while I want a photo, and this will help. This will do it. And it's cool. Cool. Has all kinds of newfangled things, because the last printer I had, the MV 45, I think it's called the 4520, really great for its time. It's about 12 years old. Yeah. So it was time to retire it because it was getting lines. It was like, so. The other thing I like about this printer is that with the Envy, the photo had to go in the roll. Now they've done it to where there's a pop-up in the back and it goes straight through. So it keeps it nice and smooth and beautiful. Or you can open the bottom and the back and it'll go straight through like this. So it's got a lot of really cool printing options. But what I was going to say, why am I prattling on about this printer to you? You're like, why? Because if it's not available, it doesn't mean that it's not available forever. So try not to have that sense of urgency. Just wait, because I I wanted to buy it during the President's Day sale, but unfortunately it was out. And so I just signed up with Best Buy. Best Buy has it for $5.99. Now you can buy it on eBay for $1,000, but why would you do that for the 8,500, right? And the interesting thing is Best Buy has the 85, which is the bigger version of the 8,500. And listen to this, guys. The Epson Eco Tanks are pretty much the same, except for the 85 is wider. It can do 11 by 9.5 by 11. No, 11 by 19, 11 by 14, something like that. It can do bigger, okay? But it pretty much is the same. Now, what I'm trying to say, though, is you just sign up with Best Buy under Notify Me, and they'll let you know when it's available, and you can pay the proper price. You don't have to pay the inflated price of an eBay or an Amazon, okay? You can just go to Best Buy and get it. And that's what I did. I looked for it around President's Day, and they were all sold out everywhere. No place could you get it except for eBay for like $1,200 or $600 or $800. And then even Amazon was charging high, like $7.99. And this is a $5.99. You can really save some money, and then you can get some warranties and et cetera, right? So just do Notify Me, because what happened was President's Day, which you all know is the 21st. I know it as Lindsay's birthday, my husband. But I looked at Best Buy and I clicked Notify Me. And while I was on vacation, they notified me they were back in stock, the little one, which is the one I decided to get because it fits beautifully on my desk right here. The big one I don't really have space in this office for. So it's a sweet little tea cake of a printer. It's like, it's really just adorable. And it has a scanner. I didn't mention if it had a scanner, which is also cool. But my point is this: Best Buy let me know it was available. I went online and bought it, and then I picked it up Saturday. So, and $5.99. Yeah, so you don't need to run over and get that. You remember when the Figment buckets were said to be all out, and then people said that they checked with Walt Disney World, and Walt Disney World said, we have plenty, just exercise a little patience. So I don't know how true that was, but basically they were trying to say that they may be out today, but we're rationing them or whatever they said. And a lot of people were able to get them that thought they were not going to get them. Don't pay the crazy eBay prices right away. Just see if you can do a little research and find out before you go jump on that. Okay. That's the way it is. And I went to Legoland. We went to Legoland because I wanted to get the dots, which you may have seen the Beatles or Iron Man or Darth Vader kits that are available on the Lego site. Some are sold out now. Marilyn Monroe, things like that. They have these little dots that make this kind of pop art stuff, which is super cool. And I was wondering if I could get the dots by themselves, because I'm creating a large mural of my dragon that I designed from Dragon's Lair, and it's really coming out cool. I'm actually laying out the colors now, not with the dots, but on my iPad, I'm doing colors. I'll show you that on Friday if you remember to ask me. And I wanted to see if at Legoland the dots were available, and she said not really, except for in the sets. And then she sent me to the site. So if you remind me about the site, I will tell you the site that I go to. That I found out about it. I'm testing it out right now. I'm testing to see, because a lot of the Lego parts are being sold from Europe, because, you know, Lego, I guess, started in Sweden, I think. And so they're doing it. But what I wanted to tell you is, if you happen to be anywhere near Legoland in Carlsbad, that you might want to stop there, especially if you had your heart set on getting that giant Star Wars walker. You know, that big set. I think on Lego it was $699, but on eBay it's like $1,300. They have them at the store. So they'll be sold out on the website, but they have them at the store in Carlsbad. They had like 6 of them. So if your heart wants to buy it at the right Lego price, again, don't, run, don't walk, go see. Now you're gonna, you might be able to work it out with guest services that you get a pass just to go in and buy it if you don't want to go into Legoland, because it's like $86 to go to Legoland. So, or you can make a day of it and then buy it. But I saw 6 of them there. I was pretty impressed. I was like, wow, I thought this was all sold out. And they're like, no, the store has about 6, you know. So it's a big box, like my Titanic is a big box. They didn't have Titanics there. I'm sorry. Ooh, Titanic is sold out. It looks like, but you can get it on eBay, but they're like charging $1,000 for it or something crazy. It's a really beautiful, it's a beautiful thing though. I love building it. It is, I'm getting like choked up because I'm almost done. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to finish. It's really a fun Lego thing. It's very unusual. It's very Lego. Let me show you again. It's just freaking gorgeous. Isn't it beautiful? So amazing. It's in 3 parts because you build all the floors too. It's 9,090 pieces. The little lifeboats alone are 10 pieces. You have to put them together. They are just phenomenal. It's really cool. Maybe I'll do a little walkthrough of it if you're interested. But it's the first Lego set I ever built since I was a kid. I mean, I've built some of the knockoff kind, and I built one for an audition for Legoland years ago. And then Dolly Parton called me, and I went and worked for her instead. Go figure. But anyway, there you go. So let's see what you've got to say. But you are right, Joe. The acoustics are very nice in here. So I don't have my cool camera system though. So we're going to be back in the shop. Missed you. So happy you're back. Thank you, Darren. Oh, that's so sweet of you. The lighting is fine, not dark at all. Okay. Yeah, it feels a little harsh on me, you know, and I have those cool colors behind me and stuff. My husband set that all up, so I'm just kind of partial to it, you know. But I am happy to be here. And he asked me. I was disappointed that the cast of Yellowstone didn't win anything, but I was happy for the actor for Squid Games and for Will Smith. The Squid Game guys, were they adorable or what? They were so shocked. The one guy, you know, trying to find his speech, you know. So you always prepare a speech in case the off chance that you win. But I know they both were like, we're not going to win. And then when they won, because the movie is really, you know, what was the other one? Parasite, another gritty movie, and the same thing. They were just we what? You know, we love when people win like that. They don't expect it, you know. Yes, I knew I was going to win, and that really didn't happen at the Screen Actors Guild Awards this year. A lot of people had no idea, right? I mean, there might have been a couple people that thought they were going to win, but I don't think so. I think that most of them were, wow, it's anybody's game, you know, and you love award shows that are like that. So I agree with you, Joe, that it was wonderful. And Will Smith, always love Will Smith. I've done 2 movies with Will, 3. Yeah, and I thought he did a great job. And he got to sit with Serena, didn't he? Wasn't he sitting with Serena Williams and her mom, I think? Anyway, very cool. I love Serena. She is truly Wonder Woman. She's so exciting to watch, and so her and her sister. I mean, they're just so much fun. They're so inspiring that it was great to hear their story. Some say the story was the movie was not really accurate, but all I have to say to you guys who may know the whole Serena Vanessa story, let's just get real and understand it's a movie, and movies are designed to entertain, and a documentary tells the full true story. So don't get yourself all worked up. They are allowed as a filmmaker to make it as they see it. And the filmmakers saw this is how he wanted to tell the story. And it seemed like the girls were saying it's pretty doggone close, but it's a movie. Remember, it's a movie. So they're going to shuffle things around so it's more entertaining, you know. The thing that comes to mind is Bohemian Rhapsody, which was brilliant and such a good film. But people who know Queen know that certain incidents took place at different times in the real calendar. But again, it's a movie and they're doing it to create tension. So that's what you do in a movie. You get to move things around and make it special. Okay. So, and in a documentary, you are locked into telling the true story, right? Okay, cool. The old trope of the tragic mulatto, it's nonsense and based on racist assumptions that to be mixed is some sort of negative. It's always something that back when my parents got married in 1956 and I was born in 1957, that was the big thing. What about the kids? What about the kids? You're doing such a disservice to the children, you know? And later on, they still said it, but they never asked the kids. And I had a great life. Yes, there were times you had to duke it out with some racist idiot. But I mean, bullies are everywhere. So, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And, wish there weren't bullies, but, it's a shame, really. Haters are just a real shame. There's, life is too short to be wasting your time doing that. My opinion. Yeah, but you're right. Harvey Lembeck, great character actor from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. He was a ton of stuff from Starlight 17 with Bill. I'm telling you, he was a great guy and funny. Phil Silver Show to a bunch of beach party movies. Yes. And there he was, my coach. And I can say my coach because there were only 30 performers in the puppet school, just 30 of us, 3 of us women, the rest men. And we got to work with, there's nothing like standing right next to June Foray and doing voices. From the queen of voices. Oh my gosh. And the thing I loved about June Foray, and she's always been such an inspiration to me ever since I met her when I was like 19 or 18 or knee high to a grasshopper, let's just say that, is that she didn't really want you to copy her. You didn't imitate her voices. You simply did tricks of the trade to change your voice, like bringing it up into the nose so that it sounded like this, or making it lower, so opening your throat and still talking through the nose so it's a bit lower, and things like that, and how you moved your mouth and how you pitched your throat. And sometimes she would do it. I was like, oh, well, I'll talk like this. How does your voice sound when you do this? And you're not really going to be doing this when you're trying to talk on it. But this was some of the things that she was trying to say. No, and then you see, So she did all that kind of fun, and it was just great to be with the mega lady doing voices with her and learning how to articulate your character. And then she also talked about finding your character. I've been a puppet builder for years, ever since I was 6 years old. So I usually build the puppet and then play with it, and then the voice just sort of comes. And she said that's kind of how characters can work. So it was great. And she also talked about the need not to be a ventriloquist. As a puppeteer, you don't need to be someone who can throw your voice necessarily. If you throw your voice, woohoo, Landon. But if you don't, then you can still be more entertaining with your character than you are here, and nobody will look here. They'll try, but you're just going to be much more interesting here. Your character's going to be a lot more fun here. Yeah, so that's what you do. And I learned that from Waylon Flowers and Madam, Renee and his artist, Tony Urbano, June Foray, just a ton of Sid and Marty Krofft. So many. Yeah. It just said, And Sid and Marty Krofft talked about, do you want to be a suit performer, meaning you're performing all body? You're doing the movements. Like you remember H.R. Puff and Stuff and Lidsville. Those were people in the whole outfit, and they played the characters, kind of like the McDonald's Land characters, the Hamburglar and what were some of those other ones? Yeah, that were with Ronald years ago. They were full body. So that was suit performers, and that's a different kind of puppeteer, using their entire body to bring something to life. And then the puppeteers who do this, that bring either through an audio and animatronic, 3D, or regular cloth, how to do it. So just a few little things there for you today. I must go. Have a fantastic day. Okay, Darren, thanks for stopping by. Always great to hear from Darren. I love the show Yellowstone. Me too, Janice. And it's been, it's the 4th season. So I have 1 through 3 to catch up on, and then I'll watch 4 again, because I'll bet you I'll understand more of season 4 if I see 1, 2, and 3. Funny how that works. I know Kevin Costner would appreciate that. I didn't do 3 years for you to watch just season 4, lady. But I hadn't heard of it before then. So Beth Dutton, she's one hell of a, I love her, Janice. Oh my gosh, that actress is amazing. The character is raw and gritty and tough and ruthless and, a little bit of a rattlesnake in a dress, wouldn't you say? Just think she's a super villain. I love her. Oh. Not a rattlesnake. She reminded me of a cobra, because cobras tend to move in to position, and then they kind of swing back and they relax, and then they're going to strike, but you're not just sure where or how. And that lady, whoo! And season 4 was a greedy one. So, yeah, I thought Yellowstone should have taken something, because they're all so good. But maybe they did previously. I'm trying to remember if they did, but they're really good. They just kept it coming. I loved it. Beth Dutton, played by British actor Kelly Riley. Brilliant lady. Brilliant lady. She just, whenever she's on the screen, and there was a period in the 4th season that I thought, I might not get to see her, and I was like, no, don't get rid of her, because it is 4th season, so you never know what's going to happen, especially when it's all you've got to go on. But oh my gosh, she's like my favorite. I really, really, really like her. And then, of course, you got a lot of older cowboy actors coming in. Okay, so there's that 6666 ranch, not the evil ranch, 666 ranch. It's the 6666 ranch, where you've got some authentic, real live rodeo cowboys that are talking about the history of being a cowboy. And then you've got real rodeo riders. I have always been impressed with, I used to barrel race when I was younger with my horse, and that is a team sport. If you're off, the horse is off, and vice versa. You can't just be on the back and stay on. You have to work as a unit, and it is amazing. That's one of the things that makes horseback riding so special, because it really sings, so to speak, when horse and rider are one. And you can really see it, as you notice that there's a sequence, and I can only talk about 4th season, where the rodeo cowboys are doing the slide stop, which is something I learned with my horse. And the idea is to slide and stop without that bounce at the end. A couple of them had that bounce at the end, but the idea is to slide it and stick it like a gymnast. So next time you watch it, watch that. The horse stuff is just seriously real. Those are all real people. Those are all, if you read the credits, which are going like this, a lot of them say, name himself. And that tells you that that is one thing about Kevin Costner that I've kind of noticed when he does some films, is he's really looking for the actual people to be in it, as opposed to playing that person, and yeah, when I barrel raced with my horse, and I trail rode. I used to do endurance trail riding, which you better be one with your horse, or you're gonna not be too happy. It's amazing. So that's why I think that's why I like horseback riding, because you have to be a full-on unit. You cannot be a push-button rider, they call it, because you'll throw the horse off, and the horse can have a bad day. Honestly, a horse can have a really bad day, and Samurai and I, there were times when he just had a bad day, and he'd go, he'd be all mad because he had a bad day. And I'd say, it happens, buddy. Then I have a bad day, and he'd look at me like, what are you doing? But yeah, horseback riding is really special. And I just get so excited watching Yellowstone, because you got the precision riders there that are just so good. Just never tire of that. Go back and watch the rest of Yellowstone, just my opinion. Well, of course. But you could not access, SAG would not allow you to access the first 3 seasons. You could only access, see, there goes that talking thing again, problem. You could only access the season 4. That was the season that we were voting on. So that's all we got to see. We didn't get to see seasons 1, 2, and 3, but I've since, I'm one of the few people that still has DirecTV, and I recorded the other 3 seasons. The minute episode 10 of season 4 dropped, season 1 through 3 filled up the DVR. So I'm gonna treat myself to watching those. I'm real excited because it's so good. Sioux, an umbrella term for Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota peoples. Yes, exactly, Joe. But I'm not sure which one. Because my parents are like, I thought maybe Lakota tribe, but then I remembered that as a Girl Scout, I went to Camp Lakota, so that's not right. Yeah, so as a little kid, I might have been told what it was, but throw away the key. Um, drop. So all we know is Sue, and that's about all we got. But it's okay. Maybe one day I'll do a, we'll dig deeper into it. But my parents have said, wait till we're gone, not for the day. Wait till we're dead. They don't want me to be digging in their past. They just don't want it. Greetings, Stephen. Oh, Stephen, I'm sorry. I'm actually going to go see my mom on Tuesday if I can get a COVID test today. I was supposed to have a COVID test yesterday, but I didn't get it scheduled because I was really off kilter and not sick, just not functioning on all four wheels were not on the ground. So I had maybe 2.5 on there. And so I had to kind of just stay home so I didn't get injured or hurt myself. I don't know what was going on. It was a day of days where I was telling the tribe all thumbs. So that's what it felt like. I wish they'd never gotten rid of the Indian village in Frontierland. They should bring that back and give several different tribes some representation in the park. Yeah, except for, do you also remember the Tahitian terrace that had the real fire dancers and Hawaiian dancers? My favorite place to eat, and now it's the Dole Whip station. Well, I'll tell you something. The reason for this is that they paid actual performers. That's the way Walt worked. And you can tell that from Epcot because you have actually Finnish people in Finland and Swiss people in Switzerland and French people in France and Japanese people in Japan and so on and so forth. When you go to Epcot Center, that is why it's my favorite. I get to meet people from the country that I might want to visit someday or have visited someday and can talk to them about what I love about their country. And I'm grateful to Walt for doing that with Epcot Center. Loved it. But the Indian village had real tribal Indian dancers. And just like you say, tribes were represented. And it was my favorite place to be when I was a kid. It trumped even the Jungle Cruise. And then they got rid of it. It broke my heart. I still remembered the colored circle that was painted on the ground and the young eagle dancer I had a crush on. Seriously, I'm not kidding. I just, and then they invited you. You remember, Joe? They invited you to dance with them. And then, of course, I was in heaven. So I miss them too. But you pay the real people. It's not someone who's learning the dances and then doing them where, it is the authentic Native Americans doing the dancing of their heritage. And that's what made it so lovely. Same with the Tahitian dancers. I was really good friends with the fire dancer, and he was Samoan and also from the Hawaiian Islands. And he was just that whole group was so special, but he was a lot of fun. And, they decided they didn't want to pay these people their salaries anymore. And so, you can't just have anyone be a fire dancer. You there, you look good. Take this, throw it. It doesn't work. So that's why we lost them, Joe. It's because they decided to make it a little less expensive because that did cost them some money. I am doing well. Thank you, Connor. Really appreciate it. I am doing, I'm going to get a nap and then I'll be better, Yeah. Bob says, I would like to tell your audience my experience as a patron. Oh, I did not pay him for this. Okay. This is Terry is an amazing person. She is well-versed in the entertainment industry, Disney voiceover sculptress, and a real friend. Oh, thank you. He's a very sweet guy. We've known each other for a while, Bob Burdine. Bob Burdine is in there too. And Bob Burdine and his wife Rose are givers. Okay. They're all about giving back. So one of the things they talk to us about is how to give back. It's not only a dollar give back you can do. You can give back through, you always know, donating your time, but there's other things you can do as well. And they speak on it often when we're on our Zoom call and in our in our on our Facebook page. We have a private Facebook page. So thank you, Bob. He also says it's money well spent as far as we are concerned. She will talk on so many subjects. And Terry says the tribe are also so helpful and supportive. They are. I have a Cheshire cat that I have out for sale, only 50, and I only have like 20 left of the Cheshire cat. Go to terrihardin.com, click on online store, and you can see him. I'm also just about sold out of my train caches, and I will tell you that story. Ask me Friday, okay? Because I can't really, I want to have my visual aids, and I don't have them because my system's in my shop, and this is my office. So, but trust me, yeah, nice little message. Hello, Crumpet Puppet Troop. I did get to see your puppets. Took a little while. Seems that Messenger was guarding your photos from me for a while, and then I had to click something or do something, and I got to see your characters, and they're lovely. They're absolutely adorable and sweet. They remind me a little bit of Fraggle Rock, but fuzzier. So not to say that you copied, they're adorable and they do look like yours, but that's what they kind of gave me, little animals, cute animal critters. So I love them. Yeah, well done. Thank you for sharing them with me. Kevin Costner as the patriarch, and then his son Casey on the ranch hand, and the ranch hand Rip. They're all well. Ooh, those men. Well, yeah. Yeah, I gotta tell you, fourth season starts third season I was able to see how aggressively it ended. I can't imagine you seeing the end of third season and having to wait for fourth season to be produced. I was so grateful that I didn't have to wait, because that was really, even if I'm not knowing anything, that was, Janice, that was really like, whoa, baby. But I did, they really, all of them are, and there's actors that I've seen in other things that I just love. And yeah, there's some great stuff. There's some good stuff. I like the guy who's the puts together the rodeo team for Kevin Costner's character. So that guy, real deal. I know he's real. I'm sure he's real. I think he's also producing the show, because I think the logo is on the side of his truck. That also is a producer of the show, one of the co-producers of the show with MTV, by the way. We're like, whoa, MTV's involved. We read the credits, can you tell? But yeah, very impressive. And then of course, the actress that I love so much, her husband, I think this is the man you're talking about. Casey, I think. Pretty cool. Yeah. But there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them that are real special. There's so, every single one, even the girls, that girl with the pink hair, I'm as good as the rest of them. Come on, give me the chance, and she's got her pink hair, and you're just like, I love this girl. I could actually, looking at her, I could probably be one of the characters on Yellowstone, and it doesn't necessarily have to be someone talking. Just put me out in the back pasture riding, and I'd be very happy. Yeah. Just put me on a horse for 20 hours a day. No problem. I would love it. I have a pair of cowboy boots that I adore, and gosh, they got to be 20 years old now. Yeah, super special. Made for me from a really talented bootmaker. Custom, yeah. Yum. Yes, Yellowstone takes me back. Yes, indeed. Just realized you were talking about Sid and Marty. Yes, I met Sid a couple of years ago, and we've become good friends since. Yes, Sid and Marty are amazing, and they're having there's a convention coming up in May. Can I tell you what day? I'm not sure. I think I wrote it down, but I might not have. Let me just look. I'm going to take a little peeky at my May schedule here. Let me just see. No, I did not write it down, but I'll find out from Jerry and then let you guys know what the date is if you're interested in that convention. They have VIP tickets on sale now. You can Google Sid and Marty Con, C-O-N, and probably find it if you don't want to wait for me. And then don't forget the Disneyana Fan Club show and sale on the 15th of May. And also, they're honoring me as a Disney legend, the Disneyana Fan Club, on the 14th. They're giving me a special dinner and a special honorary "You Are a Legend," even if Disney doesn't quite gotten a clue yet. I've only sculpted rides in all the parks. No, not all the parks, but at least 3. So come on, I qualify. But I digress as well. But yes, they are lovely. Sin Marty Krofft, I met Sid a couple years ago. He just did it twice to make sure, it wasn't a terrible typo, but I decoded it. Yeah, that's good. Beth is loyal to her father, not necessarily the whole family. It's a great series. She's just wonderful. She's wonderful. And I can't wait to see the first 3 seasons so I can kind of see their backstory and how they came to be where they are. Joseph, just to let you know, the Mandalorian season 2 art book came out last week. I know you like the art books. I do. I'm going to have to flip through it and see how I like it. I have the Game of Thrones art books. And then I'm collecting DVD series because, you may have noticed when you're streaming, this Joseph reminded me, so I'm going to leave his thing up. When you're streaming, they're raising prices. Like, for example, Netflix just announced they're doing 3 tiers now. Your basic, your middle, and your ultimate, I guess. That's what I'll call them anyway. Anywhere from $9.99 to $15.99 to $19.99 a month. And if you add that to your Disney Plus, now maybe you're at D23 and you got Disney Plus for a deal, but then your Amazon Prime, which most of us do that for the shipping. And then if you add another one like Criterion Collection, which is amazing, and so on and so forth. And if you have HBO or Cinemax or da-da-da, blah, 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 and yada, yada, it starts to be quite a big charge per month. So my advice has been grab the DVD of your favorite stuff. DVDs right now, my husband says could, disappear and the machines disappear and go away of the white worm. But right now they're kind of in limbo because a lot of people are stream crazy. So you can get some really good deals on your DVDs. We grabbed the Criterion collection of the Godzilla movies because we love them and we were watching them on Criterion, and we've decided to let Criterion go. They've upped their price for their streaming service, and we've decided that it's time to let it go. We've grabbed a couple of film box sets that we love from Criterion, and we'll just keep our eyes on the DVD. We got the Akira Kurosawa set, which it can be extremely expensive on eBay if you're not careful, but I got it for a good deal, and things like that. So we're collecting our DVDs and creating a library so that we watch it when we want to and don't pay every single time. Yeah. I still have Disney Plus. Yes, because I am a legendary Imagineer, so I deserve that, right? Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, the 4 Sixes Ranch in Texas. There's going to be a show taking place there coming, as well as another Yellowstone spinoff called 1932. Yeah, I don't know if the spinoffs are going to be as good as the actual show, but hey, go for it. I'm game. I'm game to check it out. Anything that has to do with horses and Western area. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I'm a super big fan. So yeah, it's exciting. I agree 100%, Janice. Yep. So do I. You were a barrel racer too. Do you watch the Cowboy Channel? San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo just ended. Rodeo Houston starts today. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. And rodeos are something you really need to have your eyes on, right? But Yellowstone took me back. Yeah, because I used to be an endurance rider. An endurance rider rides over hills and mountains and rocks and streams, and you got to have a good seasoned horse. Like, I don't know if you've seen that video where the 2 horses, which are obviously young, are afraid of the rabbit in the road. That's really true. That wasn't staged. I don't know if you thought it was or wasn't, but a young horse, everything is a monster to a young horse. Those horses look to be maybe 3 to 5 years old. Both of the quarter horse variety, very, very beautiful horses. But the voiceover that the two folks do based on their fear of this rabbit in the road, and the lady has to come and chase the rabbit off, and then they'll come into the paddock. But my horse jumped about a mile when a goat came out of a black billy goat came out of the shadow of a roof he was resting under in the shade. And my horse saw the shade move and jumped a mile. I stayed on, but it scared and he was a 10-year-old animal. So, but they're still going to jump because they're prey. Okay. And that's the brain in a horse, is their prey. So, but I had a 5-year-old horse, a real beautiful horse that I exercised for the owner. And there was a divot. Okay. So you're road. And then, so a divot like this, and it was probably about that wide. So, the road was like coming like this. And then the divot was here. Okay. Divot. It's hard to make a divot the weird way, and it was only probably about 6-8 inches deep. It was like a crack in the earth, just a little, you know what I mean? How earth can get those dry cracks or whatever. He would not step over it. He was terrified. Because he just didn't know what that was. He was young. He had never come across it before. So then that particular situation, you have to get off your horse, pull the reins in front of him, and lead him so he understands what that is. And you need to step in that divot so he can see you step in that divot, and then you come up and you lead him very gently across, and you teach him about obstacles, because he's young. He's 5. And the young ones, when they get to be about 10, 11, 12, which is a good horse for a beginner, is to get a 10, 11, or 12-year-old gelding. Mares are lovely if you want something a little hotter. And I learned that from cowboys. And cowboys said, who wins an argument? When you and your husband fight, who wins the argument? And I said, we don't really fight. He says, when a man and a woman fight, who wins the argument? And I said, the woman. He said, that's why you want a mare. A mare will go to the mat for you. She'll just keep fighting, whereas a gelding will give up after a while. These were cowboys' opinions. And so I've had both a gelding and a mare, and I will say my mare was really something. She was full of energy, whereas my gelding was more laid back. He was lovely. He was a wonderful samurai. He was an amazing animal. But they are two different mentalities. And then no stallions. You really got to be a rider if you're going to have a stallion, because a stallion is affected by the wind, the earth, they have hormones going. And if a mare is in season, they go all crazy, and just, you don't want that to ride. Honestly, there are some like real seasoned cowboys that like that fire, but that's a lot of fire. Okay. That's a lot of fire of an animal. And I was just like, no. My trainer was like, real cowboy. I was trained by a cowboy. And he was like, yeah, no. Let's just have fun. No to the stallions. Just leave those for, and they're also very, very pricey. Whereas there's hundreds of horses you can get now that aren't, and very wonderful, so you decide you want one. That's how you get one. Do you still ride? Indeed, I do. Not as often as I'd like. For a while there, I was training and working hard. I rode 3 times a week. But then I started to get work, as I'm doing now. I'm working, and my horse, I felt, was neglected. I shared my horse with another lady. Whenever she had friends come out, I told her she was welcome to take Velvet. That was my mare. With her out there so Velvet could get extra exercise. And then finally I realized that my work was taking me. I was traveling, and poor Velvet didn't get, so I went and rode her for a while. And then I contacted this lady and asked her if she wanted to buy her. And she's now got a new home, because it's a great animal. It took me, animals take me a while to connect with, not because I don't like them, but because I want them to be a good fit. So I just don't buy dogs off the shelf, so to speak. I'm very particular about the animal that I bring into my home. And it's the same with horses. I ride and ride and ride. My very first horse that I ever owned, I rode for 2.5 months and looked at over 100 horses before I settled on the one that I wanted. because it's not fair to have a reining horse. And a reining horse is the horses that you see doing the slides. And then if you watched Yellowstone and the calf is here, the horse that does this, so the calf turns and the horse cuts him off, and then he turns and the horse cuts him off. That's reining. That's cowboy and horse together as one, like you've never seen it before. Very impressive. And that's a very seasoned animal. And I rode one of those and I almost bought him. And then I thought, man, for the way I want to ride a horse, this is really doing him a disservice, because he was really one of the top reining animals. And I thought a cowboy should own him. So hopefully, but I finally found my movie horse. He was my first, and I had him for 20 years. Yeah, he lived a nice long life. Yeah, 30 when he passed. Great animal. I don't remember the Indian Village because they got rid of it while I was still a little kid. Ah, yes, I only know what I've seen in Disney photos. Yeah, the photos don't do it. You've heard everybody say this. The photos don't do them justice. Yeah, they really don't. But look to see if you can go on YouTube and see people's home movies, because a lot of time, that kind of cheesy color, because the color wasn't always great, and it's transferred to video, and it's like, really, I love those. Like when I see the flying saucers do that in the Indian dances. So that's a way you can see that. Yeah, really super cool. Thanks so much. I did base them a little bit on Fraggles, but changed. Forgive me. That's not my guy. It's Scam Likely. That Scam Likely calls me all the time. But change things to make them original. Yeah, it's very good that you did that. Yeah, original's cool. Original's good. My method for designing and building puppets has always been to combine lots of different things into something new. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a real good idea. Yeah, Jim used to say that most of the puppets that he sees look like his when I was with Jim Henson. And he saw mine and he said, except for yours. I showed you my garbage disposal guys, right? Yeah, they're really weird. But I had a guy who did them even weirder than me. His name was Ted Lamoureux. He worked with Disney for a while, a lot longer than I did in-house. I work with him now, but I'm not, come here, get away, Imagineer. But anyway, Ted made some really interesting puppets, and they looked very close to Roadkill. There we go. Just blink. There we go. Okay. Roadkill puppets, and they were very, very something. Yeah. So I agree. Yes. I still buy Disney movies and other films that I like on DVD and Blu-ray, says Joseph. I'm just getting upset that music is getting harder to find on CD. Indeed it is. In fact, can be very expensive, can't it? I'm not a fan of streaming or downloading. It can be very expensive. In fact, like I said, we just got this Godzilla set that's coming from Criterion. But the soundtrack we saw on eBay, and the guy is asking like $600 for the music. Godzilla music. Now we're both like, yeah, no. And one of the things that we love, and you can ask me and I'll try and remember to show you, is there in the very, very beginning of Laserdiscs, Walt Disney put out their collector's edition. It came in white boxes of the DVDs. And it only lasts for a very short while, but the one of Snow White has all the music without the dialogue. Yeah, they then stopped doing that. But that particular one, Snow White, has all the music to Snow White, the original Snow White, without any dialogue. And it's wonderful to listen to. Yeah, it's really cool. It's nice. It's nice to have that there. They later decided, and that's the entire sound, like the whole movie soundtrack. Like from when it starts to when it ends, not like bands, not like track 1, track 2, it's like all the way. That was a special feature of it, but then Disney soon realized that people might use that and decided that they were going to stop doing it. So it didn't last for very long, but we still have that Laserdisc. What's a Laserdisc, you say? Google it or ask me on Friday for Ask Me Anything Friday. Yeah, good question that would be. I have Disney Plus, but probably already own a lot of the content on DVD. Yes, well, me too. I agree. Disney Plus is nice, though, because we get to see a lot of the Pixar shorts, which I love, a lot of the documentaries, which I love, and behind the attractions, which I love, a couple of Star Wars things, which I love, Mandalorian, obviously. which I love. And then one of you guys kept telling me to watch Boba Fett. I did. I finished watching Boba Fett, and I liked what episode? I don't think it was the last one, but maybe it was the last one. Middle or the last. It's all a blur. But yeah. I think it was episode 2 I loved in Boba Fett. And the one with the sheriff. The slow talking sheriff that had Boba Fett's armor first, and then he gave it up. Yeah, that guy. I like that guy. I think that was the one that I liked. So those two, but the rest of it, yeah, it didn't do it for me. Really. No, it didn't. But I'm looking forward to Mandalorian, and a lot of you told me to watch it because it could that Boba Fett would lead into, because a lot of the movies are doing that now, right? These alternate universes that are melding together to create different story scenarios. So I watched it. I was a good girl. I watched it because you asked me to, and I did, and it was all right. And it was okay. But now we'll see if it really works with the Mandalorian. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Batman coming out. Isn't that the 7th that Batman comes out? The new Batman? I'm really excited to see his new suit. Yeah. Because it's utilitarian, whereas the other suits were not. They were trying to create a silhouette, which meant people like Michael Keaton had to look up like this because they couldn't move. And then neck go, so yeah, when you're a cosplayer, you go, yeah, that doesn't work. Poor actor. He did a great job. He did a real good job, but he can't move his neck. Yeah, real drag, right? Leo Holzer says we're going to have to give Ulos. Yeah? Or did you mean yellows? For Yellowstone. I knew what you were saying. I just didn't know how to pronounce it, Leo. Another try. We have totally fell. You're so cute, Leo. Bob Burdine says I watched an episode and was hooked. Kevin Costner character was no nonsense guy. As I have said, say what you mean and mean what you say, simple and direct. And his dedication to the whole family, even if one has to be left to the wayside, is his priority for his family. It's probably the best thing I've seen Kevin Costner do. I'm not a real fan of Kevin Costner as an actor, but he really seasoned with age because he's doggone good in this one. And I'm really starting to enjoy the kid, because the kid is really something too. That scraggle little stinker kid, little boy that's like cleaning stalls and stuff. He's growing on me. He's growing on me. I like him too. Actually, I think I like just about everybody. I can't think of a character that I just don't like and I go, yay, they're gone. Nah, I don't have that feeling. Wasn't a fan. Well, I don't want to say too much because, like I said, I saw 4th season and that's it. So I will refrain from the last thing I was going to say because I don't want to spoil it for you. But yeah, great series. Really, really lovely. I don't know if my father would like it because my dad kind of likes the black hat, white hat Westerns, Hi-Ho Silver, Lone Ranger and Tonto and F Troop and Gunsmoke, those kind of Westerns. So I don't know. I'm a good, the bad, the ugly girl. So I looked at one of the characters in Boba Fett and said they are channeling Angel Eyes from Good, the Bad, the Ugly, who is one of my favorite characters in the Clint Eastwood, Sergio Leone with Eli Wallach and Lee Van Cleef as Angel Eyes and Clint Eastwood as Blondie. One of my favorite films. I love it. And Yellowstone has that feel to me. They've kind of brought it into this century, but yeah. So if you like that gritty kind of stuff, like Unforgiven grit too, Unforgiven is a really gritty cowboy movie. My dad kind of likes the more light, good guy, bad guy, white hat, black hat kind of characters. And Gunsmoke, he just loves Gunsmoke. He loves it. So I don't know too many people his age that don't just sit there and go crazy. Also, for my father, the only Wonder Woman ever, period, end of story, is Linda Carter. You cannot talk my father out of another actress playing Wonder Woman. They don't exist. Linda is Wonder Woman. Back off, Jack. So she's the Wonder Woman, and that's the way it is. You know, leave me alone. That's what it's going to be. Fat fingers on the cell phone. That's okay. That's okay. I know how that is. I do know how that is. And that's incredible. Well, guys, look what we did. We did an hour and a half. We are really rocking it. And maybe because I don't know, maybe not everybody knew to come today. And that's okay, right? But thank you so much for joining me. It's really great to be back. Members of the tribe, I'll see you on the Zoom call. Those of you who want to be part of the tribe, pop on over to patreon.com/Terri Hardin and check her out, because pretty doggone cool and a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. We're doing we're doing challenges now. We're doing some baking challenges, and I'm thinking of throwing up a drawing challenge up there. We're doing all kinds of fun challenges. Last week, Evan Hunter taught us, or challenged us, to make butter. Yeah, baby, butter. He teaches you how to make butter. Anyway, we do all kinds of fun things on that page, and it's getting better and better. It's like a fine wine. It's improving with age. So I hope you join us. I hope you come and be a part of it, and we'll see you soon. Okay, do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. Scam likely again. They just can't get enough of me. They want to talk to me. Scam likely. I love you guys. Do something nice. Be well. I'll see you Friday. Have a lovely week, and we'll talk soon. Okay? Take care of yourselves.